Fred Tate know what kind of amplifier you want. Yo, this is my son Chris. All I'm supposed to know acid, speakers and amplifiers. Muscle, big up yourself, Muscle Canada, the East Coast link up. 6 sounds representing their state. Jamaica Sound System Group. Now with Ohms Law, big up clear cut movements. Out to man like Ian Renegade. You say Gary, big up yourself, my boss. Love Star, Heatwave. My son in Heatwave. He's worried about being on the internet holding hands with me.
Yeah, yeah. Action sound. Yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa. Desire to get to higher. Life, it's an open road. Desire to get to higher. Don't limit it, yeah. Desire to get to higher. Life, it's an open road. Life, it's a subject, ain't not an object, ain't full control.
Welcome everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is, you know who this is. I got another video for you. It's been a hectic week. Been running up all over the place, taking care of some things. Went to work, came home after work, spent some time at a venue for these sound events that we have coming up in the next few months. Yeah, we just spent some time measuring the property and, just getting certain things squared away with the venue owners and so forth. All right. But before I start my video, couple announcements. Earlier on, you guys heard me refer to the DSA having an event with the East Coast link up. 6 sounds representing their state, our city. And unfortunately, we have to postpone that event because of permitting issues. So we're working on the issues right now with the city of Baltimore, trying to get the permits squared away. And as soon as we get these things squared away, we're going to then put out another date. But the lineup is going to be the same. Nothing is going to change. I know it's an event where a lot of people want to see and a lot of people planning to come into town for. Just hold off a little bit. You understand? Till we can square that away. We're working on that. Trust me, we're working on that. All right, now before me even go any further, I want to send some big ups and some shout out to some people, First of all, you say, Gary, big up yourself, my boss. You are the first person to join the Mighty Action community. And I appreciate you going the extra effort to support the channel and things. You see what I'm saying? So give thanks to you. What you need if you don't know is message me or email me. No, you have my phone number. So message me, your size, and get you one of the DSA shirt then. Each one teach one. Or you can get the regular DSA shirt. We'll get you one of those, all right? You just tell me which color you want, I'm going to sort it out for you. See, but looking forward to see you at the festival too. Like I say, you don't come at the festival, looking forward to see you at the festival. See? Shout out to Chris and next youth from Clear Cut Movements. Big up Clear Cut Movements. See? It was inspiring to me for reason, sit down and reason with you understand? And people like Uno is the reason why I do the video that I do. And the whole reason why I get into these things. And people, big and serious still, It's a fighting to a fight with a something for years. I'm not big like Stone Love, I'm not big like Jar, I'm not big like B.S. Odyssey and them, man. You see me, I say? But I play with the whole of them. Yeah, man. I play with the whole of them. Over the years, come throughout the years, whether it be Jamaica or whether it be here, you understand? I string up with the whole of them and play with the whole of them. So, but we just not have them name and them power. And this thing is, for me, it's not about fame and it's definitely not about money. This thing is about just the whole spread of the culture. The way I'm passionate about this, anybody can tell you right now, in my area right now, Washington, D.C. area, I've been an advocate for the sound system culture for years. Push and fight feet. You see me, I said, I fight the fight. Shout out to man like Ian Renegade. All I man them were in the Jamaica Sound System Group. You understand? Would I be Love Star? You understand? Black Alliance. Funny brother. But, DN, 2DN them, pressure them and I say every man, big up on yourself, man. All I big up on yourself. Prince, big up yourself, because you years ago introduced me to that group, and a group that really kind of make the step, you know what I say? For years now, I see the culture and water down. I say, yo, if I take a sound system outside, it's only going to get worse. So for years now, I advocate for sound system culture go up on a rise, you know what I say? And in my era, I push it. I push it in my area. Push it. And muscle, big up yourself, muscle like Canada, big up yourself because you are also one of my person who tell me, say, look, you'll get the fight, you might create some enemy, but just push on. And see me there now, when the last time I talked to you, muscle was what? 7 years ago. I see we there seeing me and I push on see me, you see me? So big up to them man. And I'm fortunate enough to see other people out there and get to meet them too. You know, I do them thing, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not supposed to know Acid when we meet Acid, see all this Acid and his son now all over on social media. I do them thing. So shout out to him and film family, you understand? Fred Tate, the man that Philadelphia, the boss, you know, is a man who just love the sound culture and the music business. I swear to you. Jai talk to Fred anytime I talk to Fred. You know, man, different breed of brother that, trust me. No five man them were really, you know, point out certain things to me. You understand? I come and reason with upon certain things. I encourage me to do certain things. You understand? Big up to the eye themselves. Trust me. Big up to each and every one I want to see. Me see another youth out there where pretty much me came across his content 1 or 2 times and talking to some people over the weekend, or not over the weekend, but talking to some people during the week. They make reference to him as well. Heatwave. I was on in Heatwave. Yeah, man. I see him put out some contents too as well. Pretty much along the same line. And yeah, man, respect to every man out the way I do the thing. And I spread the knowledge and I spread the love and I spread the joy. You understand? Because this whole sound system life is, to me, is a joy. You have some people spend their money on car, clothes, drugs. You understand? Me spend my money on sounds. Seeing? So, me's addicted to sound system. You understand? And if you watch this and I watch my other videos them, you is an addict too. You is a sound addict. Yes, I. So, big up to all of the sound addicts them out there. Big up to everybody. Seeing? Now, me receive an email, not in a My Mighty Action, but in a DSA email. I receive a DSA email. I'm going to read it to the item because this is the reason why the DSA was formed. This is the reason why we do what we do in the DSA. Guys, understand, say, I am not the owner of the DSA. The DSA is a non-profit organization that I am one of the persons that govern it. See, and it was formed 7 years ago and it was a collective effort by every sound system in this area. Say, yo, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. Now, them credit me for it because I am the one where pull everybody together and say, yo, we need to do something, let's do this. So I get credited for it. But to all of the members, them were there same way, and the one them were come, leave, and gone, I want to make it possible. Especially the ones that were still there, I fight the fight with same way, you know. I want to make it possible, you know. And this is what we'd like to see. The whole world just, you know, do something of the sort. You know, Jamaica, you have the Sound System Association of Jamaica. One in which me try to join in the past. And me never know how it's like it wasn't available to me. It was like an elite club. That's how me did see it. Saying, well, the DSA now is not owned by no one man. And when we do an event, everything that we made from every event that we have, we'll give it right back to our community in some way, shape, or form. And we intend to keep on doing it that way and doing it publicly. So we know say what we are doing is what we say we are doing. So if you're not familiar with the DSA, go up on the DSA page, become a member over there, join in, man. And if you want to become a member, just reach out to the phone number over there in the contact section. Just call me. It's my number up on the screen. Call me. If you wish to become a member of the DSA, just call, join. Yeah, once you have a sound system, join on and join in the fun because we are growing. We're an organization that's growing, and I don't see nothing stopping us right now other than ourselves. You understand? So you guys just, I want to read this email that I received, and it was inspiring to me to see this email, and it comes from, I believe this person is in California. Yeah, this person is in California. And it goes by the name of DJ Big Z. So DJ Big Z, big up yourself. Big up yourself. I'm not fucking, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this email on the bottom of the screen so you guys can see it while I'm gonna start doing that. When people send me comments, message me and say certain things, and I feel like I something more highlight, I'm gonna just put it in the video then. I'll start do that. So this is the first one I'm gonna do it with. So DJ Big Z out of California, him said this. He said, I stumbled onto your YouTube page and I can't get enough. He said, I am a sound engineer by trade and education. I love building sound system for clubs and festivals. I think you have inspired me to build a big mono Jamaican wall style system. Pause for a second. I'm going to do a video about the mono and the stereo thing. It'll come. At the next controversy that it'll come. But anyway, back to Big Z. Him say, I think you have inspired me to build a big mono Jamaican wall style system. Just want to send a huge big up to your club for doing what you do. One love, DJ Zero, Epic Center Sound out of Bolinas, California. Seeing? So Zero, DJ Zero or DJ Big Z, either way, big up yourself. Don't go nowhere. Keep on watching. We have a whole lot more coming. Subscribe to all of the channel them, both mine, the DSA, and just enjoy the contents, my brother. And like me say, people like you is the motivation why we do what we do, why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Alright? So now I drag this thing out. Big up to the whole of the eye them. Big up on yourself, on know yourself, on just enjoy the video. See? So I've been busy running all over the place. I spend the day working my regular 9-to-5 job, got home, had to rush to Baltimore to go check out the venue and oversee everything that was going on at the venue, get that squared away for the event, you know, just the details, certain details. And then now back home here, you know, I got my projects that I'm doing right now. This is a project I'm doing for someone. It's a distro case I'm working on. I'm almost done with it. You know, I've been hammering away with trying to square that out and also working on my personal projects that I have going on too. Yeah, sometimes I wish I could clone myself, you know what I mean? But yeah, but I'm just here trying to make certain things work. I spent this weekend, the past couple hours, I've been cutting out these holes and grooves, bending sheet metals, cutting sheet metals, just getting certain things ready to assemble. And then I have to send this out to the person that I'm building it for. But it just goes to show some of the things that I'm doing here, you know, about the whole distro building and the case building for the distro. There's separate, I have other videos here that shows and talk about that. So if you guys are really interested in the things that I use and the components that goes together and everything else, you can check one of them other videos out and we'll give you a full detail of that, of you know, the process, everything. But this thing I'm doing now, I'm not doing the entire distro, I'm just doing the chassis. He wants to do the distro himself, he just wants me to do the chassis for him, so that's what I'm doing, right? Yeah, but that's, you know, and then now I have to come back and, you know, do this video. First I got to film this video, then I got to go back and edit it. It's going to take me the whole weekend. Today is only Saturday, but it's raining today, it's a good day, so I don't have to be outside. I'm indoors, right? So, working on the power box, you know, easy, you know, I want a simple thing there, you know. And that's the thing with me now. I do these things. I'm gonna give you guys a brief history about me. I started doing these things because I couldn't get anybody to do them for me. There's places that build distro boxes, metal shops you can go to and get it built. And every metal shop that I've been to and tried to explain to them, they don't know what it's doing. They don't know exactly what I'm trying to get done, how I want it to get done. But everyone who has done it, them now tell me how them get it done. There's places online you can go and buy it, and people now, yo, yeah man, just go your son. No, nobody not doing that. So part of the reason why I make these videos is because I'm against those culture. You understand? The culture where people just hog everything for themselves and don't share. I'm against that. So therefore, I'm totally open. I get scrutinized for it too, especially when I show one of my rocks and stuff like that. People say, oh dog, yeah, show them everything in your rock and all everything there. Come on, man, it takes more than that for a sound. And that alone make the sound. You know, I'm not trying to hold any secret here. I'm trying to just be plain and open with everything that I do. See? I mean, that's what's wrong with this culture that we have. Too much crab in a barrel mentality. You know, a man don't want to see you pull ahead, so therefore him do everything he can do for. If him not come out of the barrel, you not come out either. So him hold on for your foot and pull you back down. Step all on your head just to keep you down. You know what I mean? That part of the culture I don't like. Yeah. I don't set out to do this just because, you know what I mean? It's something I've been talking about for years, something I've been wanting to get involved into for years. And for the past 7, 8 years, I've been dabbling off and on, mostly locally in my area. And this year I decided, I'm going to take my YouTube channel more seriously and focus on it. So since January of this year, I've been pushing very hard on this YouTube channel. And it's paid off. I can see the results, you know what I mean? But I'm going to give you guys a few examples here. When I first started, the second time I come around to building my sound, and I started looking for somebody to build the boxes for me. There was a couple guys here that build speaker boxes that I didn't know them. I know of them, but I didn't know them. But there's people that I know that knew them. And no one would point me in the right direction. One person went as far as to bring the person to me, introduce me to the person, but then afterwards couldn't get the person done at all. I know what happened, why. I'm not going to say it here on YouTube for everybody else to see and to know, but it never good. What happened wasn't good, but we know what happened. So because of all of the things them surrounding that, I started building my own speaker boxes. I had my own speaker plans and everything, and start making my own boxes. And I've learned how to build speaker boxes just by, taking on that task, researching, digging up, doing my homework. I figured out how to do certain things and I start doing them. And everything you see me do, power distro, is the same situation. The chassis for the distro itself, it's the same situation. Been wanting to get a distro for the sound now for the past 4 or 5 years, and everyone I talk to about it, oh yeah, I know this guy, and they'll put you on to somebody, but they'll put you on kinda. In other words, you ever have to do something, but you're going through someone to get something done? Take for instance, plenty of you guys have called me, text me, and ask me, hey, you know anybody who do this? You know anybody who does that? And in the comment section, I want you guys to answer that. What have I said? Oh yeah man, just I link the person, I link you back. Or if I say, yeah man, call this person. Or here, message this person. Or hold on. Hey, so-and-so, this is so-and-so, so-and-so, meet so-and-so. You guys exchange number, you guys deal. I've never tried to be a nigga person in any dealings that I do, because it's something I don't like. If I introduce you to somebody, that's somebody that you're going to deal with directly from that point forward. Going forward, that's a person you're going to deal with. But sometimes when you find people plant themselves in the middle, it's so that they can have control. And what you receive, how far ahead you get, what you're able to do is going to be based upon how much of that daylight happens. You know what I mean? So I don't like play nigga people, and any person will come around me and play nigga people, me kind of just shy from. You know what I mean? So distros, speaker boxes, every little thing I end up doing myself. Every tool you see in this shop here, if I'm doing something, this is a tool that get it done, I go buy it. So let's talk about planning your system. One of the key things when planning your system is your speakers and your amplifier. Not only have to plan all your processor stuff, them, and I'm going to say it now, I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. The less you have from your audio file to your amplifier, the less equipment you have in between there, is the better it's going to be for your sound. Yeah, some people put in a EQ in them sound, and the EQ have a hiss or a hum in it. Then them get a hum eliminator to eliminate the hum. Then them get a hiss eliminator to eliminate the hiss. Then them they know bring another level of noise. Them have to get something else to cancel out that noise. You know what I mean? So it's always best to have less, than too much. Repeat that again. It's always best to have less than having too much. Always best to have less than too much. That's your processing equipment. And I'm going to come back to that. But let's talk into the speaker and the amplifier real quick. So when you plan your sound, you have to plan out speakers and amplifiers. Know what kind of amplifier you want. Then figure out what kind of speaker is going to perform with that amplifier. Know what kind of speaker you want. Then figure out which amplifier is going to perform with that speaker. You know what I mean? And you have to match them. In doing so, there's several things you need to learn about, which is ohms and wattage. You know, a person commenting in the comment section say, yo, talk about these things. It's coming, more of them stuff here come. But me I build up to it because it's not just for who know already, but it's for who don't know, who are sound people alone, who's thinking about becoming a sound person as well. So I try to cover everything for everybody. So I'm not going to rush and gone too far over somebody's head. You know, take my time and build towards it. So you get a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. You know what I mean? Spread it out. So anybody can just come and follow along. So the next step is your speakers and your amplifiers. You have to know what you're gonna use and what you're gonna use with what. Now back in the days we had speakers that were like 500 watts, 600 watts, 1000 peak. You remember them speakers, the man? And the amplifiers, the one we have back them days now, where I push 1000 watts, we're like, yo, monsters. I have one of them there, you understand? Them there was the monster amplifier, them there. These days, that ain't shizzle. The speakers now with 2500 watts rating on there. And amplifiers that's pushing out 33,000 watts. 4,000 watts. 12,000 watts, you know what I mean? So, but know that if you have a high wattage speaker, you're gonna need a high wattage amplifier to power that speaker. You can put a sound with some high wattage amplifiers and some high wattage speaker, and them up tear down the place. And you can get a sound where have some low wattage speaker and some low wattage amplifier and still a tear down the place. Pretty sure you've probably seen it and probably amazed by it yourself. Yo, dog, I do some PV the man I use, some PV 800 the man I use, you know, and I tear down the place, you know. Yo, dog, the power soft them don't sound like that. The K30 don't sound like that. The 42 don't sound like that, you know. So it's all about matching your amplifier with your speaker. Now, this is a very controversial topic, and my little dabble when me have a dabble in it now might not done yet, so. Pretty sure we might have to go continue this now and follow up with this now as we go along. Much like power, the 240 and the 220 and the 120 and the 110 argument, much like the power conversation, I think the ohms and the wattage conversation goes pretty much the same way. And the reason be is there's a lot of different theories out there, which is correct. You will find out. And I'm gonna name some of these theories that's out there. But at the end of the day, the formula is still the same. When I talk about, let me give you an example. Some people say you're gonna match the power output of your amplifier to the peak of the speaker. And then now, some people now say, no. The right way is you're gonna match the power output of your amplifier to the RMS of your speaker. Which is right, which is, we can debate that. But one rule of thumb that I have seen and that I have used is my amplifier's wattage being twice as much as my RMS wattage on my speaker. So that would almost fall in line with the peak of that speaker, almost. Some cases it does, some cases it don't. But when your speaker requires 1,000 watts and your amplifier can only push out 500 watts, you're gonna burn up that amplifier trying to play that speaker. Your speaker is underpowered. So what your amplifier is doing now is overwork to perform, and it's gonna burn that amplifier up. So most of you guys who are burning amplifiers is burning amplifiers because of that reason. I'll give you another reason to another example. In fact, I take you guys to my chat board. I'm gonna do a demonstration on what my version of what the Ohms law or ohms and wattage is. Briefly, we're not gonna stay too long on it because there's plenty of videos on YouTube showing you exactly how the Ohms law work or how wattage works. See? But like I was saying earlier on when I was over there talking, the wattage on your amplifier, you got to check the specs, match your speakers to the amplifiers, match your amplifiers to the speakers. If them out of sync, you can damage one or the other. And depends on how the ratings on them is, how it's going to perform. You understand? So, real quick, ohms. We deal with the Ohms law first. So with Ohm's law, ohms, another word for ohms is resistance. So another word for ohms is resistance. So when you think about ohms, think about resistance. Seeing? And ohms and watts, they work together. There's a formula to that. I'm not go too deep into that, but ohms and watts work together. So I'm gonna talk about watts just a little bit as well. So ohms equal resistance, and wattage equals power. So when you hear somebody say, yo dog, what kind of how much power the amps they push? They want to know the wattage. How much power speaker them there? They want to know the wattage. You understand? So when you think of watts, just think of power. He's gonna help me out. This is my son Chris. He's gonna be helping me out on this one. He's gonna be watts, wattage, and I'm gonna represent ohms. Chris is gonna try to get behind me, and I'm gonna try to keep him away, keep him from getting behind me. So this is how you differentiate how ohms operate and how wattage operate. So I'm ohms, he's wattage. He's pushing to come through, and I'm trying to hold him back. That's why you have to balance the ohms and the wattage and all of that together. Right, here he is. And he's worried about being on the internet holding hands with me. And that's just saying. That's what I said. He don't want to be on the internet holding hands with me. That's just why you. All right, so remember this. Just remember this going forward. Ohms. Ohms. When you think of ohms, think of resistance. When you think of wattage, think of power. So ohms is the amount of resistance that I am applying, and wattage is the amount of resistance that my son was applying. You understand? So just look at it that way. Resistance versus power. Okay? Now with Ohm's law, there's series and there's parallel. When you put things in series, things get multiplied. The ohms get multiplied. When you put things in parallel, things get divided. So series, multiply. Parallel, divided. See? Just remember that. So two speakers in series, you connect the positive to the negative of the other speaker. Then you're going to connect the lead from your amplifier, positive, and negative. This is your amplifier. In series, you have two 8-ohm speakers. You have two 8-ohm speakers. In series, you're going to multiply the amount of ohms by the amount of speakers. So you have two speakers that are 8 ohms. You're going to multiply 8 by 2. That is in series. This is in series. So that is in series. 8 multiplied by the two speakers gives you 16 ohms. So that is series. In parallel, Instead of wiring the positive from one lead of your speakers to the negative on the other lead, you're gonna wire positive to positive and negative to negative. So your positive together and your negative together. 8 ohms load, same 8 ohms load. With series, you're going to multiply. With parallel, you're going to divide. 2 speakers at 8 ohms divided by 2, because it's 2 speakers, is equals to 4. So your load on over here is going to be 4 ohms. 16 ohms, 4 ohms. Series, parallel, multiply, divide. With series, you put the positive lead of one speaker to the negative lead on the other speaker, and then you connect the positive to the positive on the amplifier, the negative on the negative on the amplifier. That's in series, 16 ohms. The other one is in parallel, 4 ohms. So simple maths. Multiply series, divide parallel. So a couple different scenarios. I'm gonna bring you guys closer so you guys can see this. So a couple different scenarios to you guys. See? Let's say you have 16 ohm speakers. You have 2 speakers that are 16 ohms. And then you have another 2, 16 ohms. If you were to put 2 16 ohm speakers in series, it would be 16 times 2. That would be what, 32? So this would be 32 ohms. Now if you put 32 ohms for an amplifier, I done. I mash up that the amplifier, then mash up, because it's not designed for 32 ohms. See? So that's why if you put them in a series. And series means negative to positive over here, and then your positive, we use a red marker for that. The positive will run to the amplifier. Your negative will run to the other part of the amplifier. The amplifier is not going to see 2 16 ohm speakers. It's going to see 1 32 ohm speakers. Remember that. It's going to see 1 32 ohm speakers. Over here, if you put them in parallel, it's 16 pretty much divided by however amount of speakers, 2 speakers, it's going to give you 8. So this is going to be 8 ohms. So once again, you run your wire. That's your positive to your amplifier. You hook your positives together, both of them, and your negative jump over. You hook your negatives together. 8 ohms, 216 in parallel, that's 8 ohm. For speakers, for speaker and speaker management, you're going to see speakers that are, it's either 4 ohms, 8 ohms, or 16 ohms. Those are the 3 most common ones you're going to see. 4 ohms is usually used in cars. 8 ohms and 16 ohms you'll see in pro audio, like what we are doing here. So we'll take this off of that, because we're not talking about car speakers. We're talking about pro audio type. You understand? Jamaican hard culture sound system. The most common one is 8 ohms. All across the board, 8 ohms is the most common one. 16 ohms is become a thing now. Man, I'm gonna run to 16 ohms because now them can hook up more speakers on one amplifier. So now people are got to 16 ohms now. But the most common one you're gonna see is 8. I'm gonna write 8 ohms and 6. I put 16 over here, so. And 8 over here, so. Matching your amplifier to your speakers now. When you buy your speaker, it comes with a spec sheet. There's 3 things on there that I focus on when you buy my speaker. Then. The wattage, the ohms, and the SPL. And that's another thing. That's another topic right there so by itself. See, and so let's go with let's start with the most common one, with the 8 ohms. Let's start with 8 ohms. Now, your when I say match your amplifiers to your speakers, this is what I'm talking about. If you have a 500 watt amplifier at 8 ohms, it plays 500 watts. And you put a 500 watts speaker at 8 ohms, with the 8 ohm speaker that plays 500 watts on that amplifier. That amplifier here is probably gonna burn up. And as the number gets smaller, let's say it's a 400, even more so. 200, even more so. It's gonna burn up. The controversy where this is concerned is, let's say you have a RMS of 1000 watts on a speaker, and you want to figure out what size amplifier you're going to need to power that speaker. Rule of thumb is for most people, let me write the peak, sorry. All right, so when you talk about your speakers now, we're talking about speakers. You're looking at an 8 ohm speaker, and the RMS is 1000 on the speaker, and the peak, let's say peaks at 2000. Some people say you would want an amplifier that at 8 ohms, that amplifier is putting out 1000 watts. So they're gonna match the amplifier to the RMS. That's what some people says. Some people says at 8 ohms, you're gonna, you want an amplifier that's putting 2000 watts. That is matching the amplifier to the peak of the speaker. Now, the peak is the maximum that speaker can take. That's like a breaking point for that speaker. So even if, let's say if the peak is 2000 watt, it can only take 2000 watt for a brief second, not consistently. So some people say you have to match the amplifier to the peak. That's the other controversy. Now here's a third one. You want an amplifier at 8 ohms that's able of some people says the amplifier must be twice as powerful, twice as much wattage as the RMS. So if your RMS is 1000, then your amplifier should be 2000 based upon this. So both this and this are saying the same thing. The peak and the RMS times 2 is pretty much saying the same thing. And I've heard this one a lot. Now, I don't know if it's because I have the power soft why I don't experience certain damages, but I have been using the last formula. You want an amplifier that's capable of handling twice as much as the speaker RMS to power that speaker. That's the one that I've been using, and both of these are pretty much saying the same thing. Now, I've heard this a lot. Which is true, you tell me. Which is correct, you tell me. That's going to be a conversation right there. So, number 1 theory is your amplifier wattage should matches the speaker's RMS. Number 2 theory is your amplifier wattage should matches the speaker's peak. And the number 3 theory is your amplifier wattage should be twice as much as your speaker RMS. Now, I'll tell you why I went with the twice as much. Now, you must figure what works for you. I'm just telling you what these formulas are. But I'll tell you what worked for me and what me find out why I did what I did, why I choose twice as much. Sometimes your speaker would say 800 watts and your peak would be 2500 watts. Sometimes it would say 600 watts and your peak 2000 watts. Quite frankly, These manufacturers can write anything upon here. But what I found out to be true, most of the time, their RMS is pretty much on the money. But a lot of them like to exaggerate when it comes to the peak. They exaggerate on the peak. So if I go by their exaggeration, I can be wrong. Because, I mean, then you tell me this, a speaker plays RMS, what, 600 watts, but peaks at 2,500? I don't know. Maybe 1,500 me to understand. 1,200 me to understand, but 2,500 peaks? It's just like the conspiracy we are go on right now with speakers. All of a sudden, speakers used to be what? 400, 600, 800. We're talking about wattage here. That's what speakers used to be. But lately, speakers are 2,500, 3,000 watts. So that's why you have amplifiers that are pushing out 3,300 watts. 33,000 watts and 12,000 and 500 watts. That's why you have amplifiers pushing out these high wattage now, because you have these high wattage speakers out there. And don't think that because a man have a high wattage speaker and can play louder or better than you. You just need the efficient amplifier to power the speakers that you have. And once you match that properly, them 10,000 and 12,000 watt speaker there, nothing to you. You see look at someone, there's some sounds out there, Dinosaur right now still using the QSC, MXRX. If you try to use them speakers there with a speaker now where rated for 2,000 odd watts, you're in trouble, because those amps at 4 ohms only put out 11,000 and change. I don't remember the exact number, but I gotta look it up. 1,100 and change, 1,000 and something wattage at 4 ohms, not at 8. I think it's like something like 700 and change at 8. No, yeah. I think it's only 700 at 8. I don't remember exactly. I don't have all the specs in front of me to tell you exactly what they read. And when me talk these numbers, me talk on the 3,000 and the 4,000. So these are things where you have to consider when you match your speakers to your amplifiers. What kind of amplifier you plan to use will determine what speakers you get to work with it. And what speakers you're planning to use is going to determine what amplifier you're going to get to play it. You can't get a 500 watt speaker and run go get the CVR. Which one? The last one you have? 3,002 to play it. No, you're going to burn up the speaker. All right. In fact, you know what? Let me give you guys that scenario. If you get a low wattage speaker, 400 watts, and you get a high output, high wattage amplifier. Let's say the amplifier push 3,000 watts. You're going to burn up the speaker. Your amplifier is going to be putting out too much power for that speaker. It's going to burn it up, mash it up. Let's reverse it. Let's say you get a 3,000 watts speaker, but you have a 400 watts amplifier. You're going to burn up the amplifier. Trying to move the coil at the high wattage speaker, you're going to burn up the amplifier. So you have to get the amplifier that is going to match the speaker that you plan on playing, or the speaker that's going to match the amplifier that you plan on using. Make sense? I hope that makes sense. Remember earlier I said, think of ohms as resistance. And then I said, think of wattage as power. Is kind of holding back power. I come forward. Buy an amplifier. Oh, here's another thing. When you buy your amplifiers, make sure that the amplifier, make sure you know how many ohms your amplifiers can take, minimum and maximum. So it's not every amplifier can pay 16 ohms. So when you're going and you're buying 16 ohm speakers, ask yourself this question. Do I plan to play one cabinet, or do I plan to always play multiple cabinet? If you plan to play one cabinet, 16 ohm speakers in it. That's if you have single speakers in there. 16 ohm speakers you use 16 ohm speakers in it. Your amplifier can manage 16 ohms. So you're going to end up burn up your amplifier. Are you going to be using multiple speakers all the time? So you know you're going to be probably 8 or 4 or 2 ohms. Make sure that say you have an amplifier that can go down to 4 ohms or 2 ohms if you're going that low. Because what's going to happen if you do, same thing, you mash up the amplifier. This is why it's important to understand Ohm's law. Now, this is a story. Hear me out good pan one. And if the person recognize himself and if the item recognize who me I talk about, please, me I beg you, don't take it the wrong way. But it's an example me I make see. And me I try to spread that knowledge. I know someone in the business, well-known, very experienced person, who burn up an amplifier. He had a CVR amplifier. We all know CVR can go down to 2 ohms, and the 8, 4, and 2. That's why it's important to read your specs for your amplifiers and your speakers. And like I said, this person is very well known in the business, very experienced too. Now, if you bridge your amplifiers, most amplifiers in bridge mode will not go down to 2 ohms. You will only get 8 and 4 ohms in bridge mode, most of them. So this individual had a amplifier and he had 2 double 21s. He had 2 double 21. Now these 21s are 8 ohms. This is what I'm saying. These 21s are 8 ohms. This was an error by him, you know. And I say, you can't make mistake. Even the most seasoned of us make mistakes. Mistakes is gonna happen. See? So he had 2 double 21 inches and 8 ohm speakers in them. So that means each of his box are playing at 4 ohms. So what he did was he put both boxes parallel to each other. Now they're playing at 2 ohms. So his amplifier, he was playing in bridge mode, which the minimum it goes is 4 ohms, which if he was playing in stereo and both of his speakers were on each side of the amplifiers, it would have been fine, no problem. But he had his amplifier, I don't know if it was by accident or whatever, he had his amplifier in bridge mode, which the minimum it goes is 4 ohms, and he had put both speaker boxes on that amplifier. So now he's sending a 2 ohms load to an amplifier in bridge mode that cannot go no more or less than 4 ohms. What you think happened? If you say burn up him amplifier burn up, you was right. If you comment in the section and say him amplifier burn up, you were right. So you have to know the Ohm's law, read up on the specs of your speakers, read up on the specs of your amplifiers, know what go with what. Match your amplifiers to your speaker. Like I said, there's 3 different scenarios out there now. And if you guys know of another one, let me know. But the ones that I know is you match your speaker, your RMS value to the amplifier's wattage. So if the RMS value for your speaker is 500 watts, you want a 500 watt amplifier playing that speaker. That is one scenario. The second scenario is you matches it to the peak. If you have a peak value of 2000, then you want an amplifier that's pushing out 2000 watts to match the peak. The other scenario that's out there is whatever the RMS is you double it twice as much wattage of the amplifier. So if you have a 500 watt speaker, you want an amplifier that's pushing out 1000 watts. Those are the 3 scenarios that's out there that I know of. If you guys know of them, let me know. Which is right, which is correct. That's for us to figure out. But the one I've been using is the very last one. Now, if your amps are overheat and are ready, red out, a peak out quick, early. There's a couple of different things can be the issue. One, power coming into the amplifier. Might not get the right power. Earlier on, we talked about the power and I mentioned 240 and someone commented and said, yo, more work for the amplifier if you put it in a 240 and perform best at 120. That's what he said. I've always been taught, I've always heard, I've always witnessed an amplifier performing a lot better on the 240. And I'm gonna tell you why I said that. Everybody know that the lower the voltage is the higher the amperage. I'm using PowerSoft. CVR is similar. The AdMark is similar. Same technology. So the most common one I've seen is a CVR. Let's use CVR as an example. A CVR amplifier at 120 volts is probably going to give you somewhere. It's not going to be exact. I don't have the specs in front of me to tell you, so I'm just making up some numbers, but I'm trying to keep them as realistic as possible. It's going to be somewhere in the vicinity between, let's say, 25 to 30 amps. Let me write out amps. We can just put A for amps. 25 amps to 30 amps. That's at 120 volts. Now, mathematically speaking, if you raise the voltage 240 volts, mathematically speaking, your amperage is going to go down. Let's say, I'm gonna make up a number again, and don't cuss me out, but you know, I make up a number. Let's say 17 amps to, listen me good, it might not be 100% correct, but let's say 17 amps to 22 amps. Now you do the maths, you can do the maths, there's a formula too. We'll get into that another video. But here's a regular 120. The amperages are gonna be, it depends on the amplifier, manufacturer put it on the amplifier, all of them. You understand? I don't have the exact number in front of me. You can't go look, but I don't want to look right now. We gotta talk about this. Guesstimating around 25 to 30 amps. If you raise the voltage, you're gonna drop the amperage. You're gonna drop the amperage, let's say 22 amps. It's still lower than this 25 and this 30 amps. Now what's gonna happen when you drop the amperage is the amplifier is gonna run a lot cooler. You're gonna find it that the amplifier, you can probably get more out of it because when the amperage is high, the heat is gonna be more. So your amp is gonna be hotter, run hotter, maybe chip out, overheat. You're gonna have those problems. When your amperage is lower, your voltage is higher, your amperage comes down, your amps is going to be a lot cooler, it's gonna operate a lot cooler. You're gonna be able to get more out of it. This first scenario up here, so you will red light faster than you would with this scenario. That's one plus of running on a 240 or 220, it depends on where you're at, versus to running 120 or 110. Me I try to make them video too long, this one too long, too far. So whole heap of controversy in what me I say. Whole heap of people have a challenge me on some of them things that me I talk about. But like me say earlier on, in the most of what I do my research, do my homework, I talk to the teachers, them, you understand? Big up to all our teachers, them where I don't know yourself. But plan out your amplifier, plan out your speakers as well. And we soon talk about the rack and the processors them in a rack, right? But Ohm's law. Ohms, another word for ohms is resistance. All right, so I said I was gonna make this video short, kind of too long again, but you get the drift. Just remember, when you're talking about ohms, key things to take away. Series, you want to multiply. Parallel, you're going to divide, all right? And what you're gonna use is the amount of ohms by the amount of speakers. So series, 8 ohms, 2 speakers, you're gonna multiply 8 by 2. Parallel, 8 ohms, 2 speakers, you're gonna divide 8 by 2, okay? Another thing, remember, match your speaker to your amplifier. Match your amplifier to your speakers. If you want to play efficiently, you have to match these details. We'll talk about SPL later. That's another important factor when it comes to speakers. But we'll dive into that. In fact, I'm gonna dive into the whole specs of that at another time. All right. But just remember, match your amplifiers to your speaker. Match your speakers to your amplifier. The Ohm's law, remember, series is to multiply and parallel is to divide. And you're talking about the ohms. Another key thing to remember is if your amplifier does not take 16 ohm speakers, or it does not take 2 ohm speakers or 1 ohm speakers, and you are playing in those area, you're playing the load in that area, you're going to burn up your amplifier. If your wattage on your speaker is greater, way greater than the wattage of your amplifier, you're going to burn up that amplifier trying to play that speaker. What's going to happen is that amplifier cannot move that coil, and it's going to fight to move it, and it's going to burn up that amplifier trying to do that. If you have a low wattage speaker with a high wattage amplifier, now you have too much current going to that speaker. So what's going to happen is you're going to burn that speaker up. So you have to match your amplifier to your speaker, match your speaker to your amplifier. And remember the rule of thumb. And you guys comment down in that section and make me know what to use, what to think of the right formula, I want to think work best for now. Like I said, there's 3 different scenarios out there. This is a topic enough people don't really want to talk about because it's so controversial. Rule of thumb is you match the amplifier wattage to the speaker wattage, RMS. The speaker RMS wattage. The second one is you match your amplifier wattage to your speaker peak wattage. The third scenario is you take your speaker wattage, multiply that by 2, and that should be the number for your amplifier wattage. You see what I'm saying? So which one of those you think is right? Which one of those you think is wrong? Let me know in the comment section. We can talk about this in the up and coming video. And pretty soon, look out for the live, you know, coming up live pretty soon one of them day here. I'm just working towards that. You know, I'm not in no rush to get on the live scene. So look forward for the live, okay?
Yeah, yeah. Action sound. Yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa. Desire to get to higher. Life, it's an open road. Desire to get to higher. Don't limit it, yeah. Desire to get to higher. Life, it's an open road. Life, it's a subject, not an object. Full control.